The Terrobyte with the new GTA Online update got a bunch of different changes and some new features. So for the rest of this video, I will purchase these different upgrades for the Terrobyte, show you guys what they do and tell you if they are worth it or not. So to be able to access these upgrades for your Terrobyte, you have to drive your Terrobyte into the garment factory. So yes guys, you will need to earn at the garment factory to even put these upgrades on your Terrobyte, unless you guys can actually do this at the nightclub when your Terrobyte is in that storage. I have not tested that, so it is a possibility that works. When the Terrobyte is inside the garment factory, you then have to enter the Terrobyte again, press right on the D-pad, and you can see all of these upgrades here. So we can see the price of them. Now straight off the bat, we can already see that the Collectible Scanner will cost you guys $1.2 million, almost $1.3 million, which is genuinely insane. I'm not really sure why Rockstar priced it this high. After using this and trying it out for myself, I don't think it is insanely useful either. I think this price should at least be halved. Now because I want to test these things out, I will of course purchase all of the Bureau tech, and we will go through the list one by one, hopefully giving you guys a good idea of what to get and what to avoid. So to begin with, we have the most overpriced thing, and that will be of course the Collectible Scanner. Now I would only recommend ever getting this if you have enough money for it, obviously. I would not save up specifically for this upgrade. Just remember, for collectibles in GTA Online, you can use a website, for example GTA Lens, and then from there essentially you can just type in the collectibles you want to find and find them so easy. But how this Collectible Scanner works is a bit different from that. So inside the Terrobyte, if you press the right stick down, or whatever the button is for you, you'll then get this sort of radar on the bottom left map, very similar to the submarine radar that we get, and that is essentially it. It will just keep scanning as you guys are driving. You will see right here, I got one of these collectibles very close. So once I climb this ladder, you will see that one of the LD Organics products was on top of the roof. Honestly, I had no idea this was actually here, but if anything, it just shows how the Collectible Scanner can be quite useful. But some pretty big downsides to this Collectible Scanner include not being able to open the full map once it is active. Alongside this, you cannot even do that expand map thing where you press down on the D-pad. The radar will just randomly go off. So you guys are really restricted to this really small map. But if you just drive around with the Terrobyte a lot, which by the way is also another disadvantage because the Terrobyte is pretty slow compared to a lot of other vehicles. The Terrobyte itself is also massive, which will make it quite awkward to get to the different collectibles. But even just driving the Terrobyte through the city, you will see that I found another collectible over here. So you can see it can be quite useful. I'm not really sure why you would want to pay that full price though. If anything, I would just wait for a discount. If you really wanted to get this, I would definitely not recommend paying the full price. It's still a cool feature though nonetheless, even if we don't think about the price. I think something like this should have been in GTA Online in the past, especially with all of the different collectibles that we do have. And by the way, you can find the collectibles in your interaction menu, so it's worth looking through here and seeing what you guys have collected. But now moving over to the second upgrade for the Terrobyte, we have the silent running upgrade. Now at first I thought this would only work if you guys are inside the hold of the Terrobyte, where you guys can access that touchscreen and stuff, but it does turn out if you guys just randomly stop the Terrobyte anywhere, the silent running feature will in fact activate, and you guys can actually see this on the map. So once I fully stop, you will see that my character's blip will start flashing, which is saying that it is off the radar. So if anyone else was in my session, they could not see me currently. I believe this will also work when you are inside your Terrobyte, and if that is true, then it will be so overpowered in public sessions. Just remember, from this Terrobyte you can launch some drones. You can also use one of the missiles, although that is not very good because of the coverage of it. You cannot really look around, but being able to launch them drones from your Terrobyte is really funny. You can stun online players, you can also detonate the drones. I have messed around with them before in the past and they are super fun. Now the only reason to buy silent running is if you play in public sessions and of course use the Terrobyte more often. I think it is altogether a cool thing, and I would actually say that the silent running ties into the last two upgrades. Of course the next upgrade was the missile lock-on jammer. I don't really have to explain this, but I would recommend it because the Terrobyte already has some insane explosive resistance. I believe it can take something ridiculous like 20 plus rockets or something. So now if you buy the missile lock-on jammer for the Terrobyte, it is pretty much invincible in a way. Obviously people can still free aim the rockets or anything, but it will make it last a lot longer. Once again, I would probably say this is more centered to public sessions. I would still recommend it though, just in case. And I think it ties into the silent running because if somebody does see your Terrobyte whilst it is still, they will obviously not see your blip and they won't be able to lock on straight away. Let's also say, for example, you guys are hiding in the Terrobyte Terrorbyte, or just driving it around and stopping. If someone in an Oppressor Mark II in a public session is just flying over you, if you do not have the missile lock-on jammer, you can probably still be locked onto whilst you are using the silent running, which of course will then mean they find you even with silent running active. So the missile lock-on jammer also pretty much ties into the stealth aspect. I would say this is a good upgrade to get, but I do not think it is essential or anything. Obviously the Terrorbyte armor is one of the best across GTA Online. The missile lock-on jammer will just help a little bit more. And then for the final upgrade, we have the Master Control Terminal. Now I think this Master Control Terminal should have been in the Terrorbyte from the start, ever since it came out with the arcade. It just makes the most sense. It makes more sense than having the MCT in the arcade, I would say. For those of you who do not know what the MCT is, pretty much you can run any one of your businesses from this thing. However, you do not want to sell any of your business stock from here. Only use this to resupply your businesses, because if you guys sell any stock, obviously this stock will most likely spawn at your business, which will mean that you will have to trek all the way to your business first to get the sell vehicle. Pretty much you guys will just be buying this upgrade to resupply your businesses. So if you have no businesses, do not get this upgrade. I think it is so convenient. And like I said, I think this ties in to the silent running. If you guys do this in public sessions, you can go inside your Terrorbyte and access all of your businesses from the Terrorbyte without being on the radar, which I think is honestly really cool. Instead of just risking yourself going to all of your businesses and also wasting a bunch of time, you can just call your Terrorbyte in, just stop anywhere on the map, you will be off the radar with silent running. No one can lock onto you with the missile lock-on jammer active, and then you can manage all of your different businesses apart from the acid lab inside the MCT. So yeah, I think these upgrades are really good. If I was going to rank them at best to worst, I would probably go for the MCT, silent running, and then the missile lock-on jammer, and then of course the collectible scanner last, because it is just so overpriced. You do not need to even spend any of this money to find any collectibles. It is also worth mentioning that with the Terrorbyte now, with it having 2 storage locations, you can use the interaction menu to change where you want your Terrorbyte to be stored. You can either have your Terrorbyte inside the nightclub or move it over to the garment factory if you own it. So overall, what are your guys' thoughts on these new Terrorbyte upgrades? I really do like them, but then again, I think that the collectible scanner is by far the worst thing I have ever seen. If it just costs less money, or at least in line with the other upgrades, I would not even be bothered about this. It is just the fact that it costs nearly $1.3 million just to get this one upgrade. I think that is absolutely insane. But yeah guys, make sure that you leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on these Terrorbyte upgrades. Also let me know what your favorite one is from all of them. Like I said before, I think a lot of them work together quite well. But if you guys went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in some way, shape or form, make sure to leave a like. I always appreciate your support. And if you are new here, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. And the guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.